I am so tired of you acting like you speak for the people of the state of Indiana or the city of Indianapolis. You do not speak for me or anyone I know. Now listen, you two jerks. Jerks on the right.
We're back. Look at us. We're back. Happy Monday. Hello, everybody. Coming up on today's show, since we've been out of commission for the past couple days, we've got to do a recap of Kamala versus Bret Baier and that whole Catholic dinner thing. We're going to talk about that. Also, Elon is just handing out millions. He's just handing it out. No big whoop. That's happening. And we're chatting about Trump and Kamala's dueling rallies. And Trump works the fries at McDonald's.
He's loving it.
He is so loving it. All that and so much more. You can check us out on our socials and please click subscribe to this podcast. If you haven't done that already, just click the subscribe button. Yeah, and you can put us in your pocket, but click that button if you haven't. Why haven't you clicked that button? You should do it. chicksontheright.com/links. Also, taxes suck. Suck. Don't be overwhelmed by them. Schedule a complimentary consultation with Tax Network USA, tnusa.com/chicks or call 1-800-958-1000. 1-800-958-1000 and handle all that. Handle it with ease. Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, I just wanted to also just say I was pretty delighted that Tennessee beat Alabama this weekend.
Yes, it was a very interesting football weekend indeed.
It was very interesting, wasn't it? I know.
Very interesting.
Texas, wasn't that weird?
There were some calls and some behaviors during that game that there were some behaviors that were unacceptable. But anyway, that's
the weekend.
Sports. It's going to be a long show, as you might imagine, since we've missed so many things and we have so many things to catch up on. And so we will get to all of those things. A very brief point of personal privilege, if I may. I have to shout out Donna for taking care of Ella Dog while we were gone. There is no better dog watcher on the planet than Donna, our insider Donna, who took care of Ella Dog. She was amazing. We got constant videos and pictures and updates, and
so
Ella
did the insiders.
Yeah, so did the insiders. And she just had the best time. And she was just, I mean, what a lifesaver you were, Donna. Thank you for helping us. So appreciate that. All right. And then we have already some thank yous to get to. Margaret Terhar Hill says, my daughter and I signed up for Fog Chicks this week. I made sure she used your code. We both love the strawberry lemonade flavor. I set my alarm to watch every morning. You chicks rock. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
Renna Pierre says, I'm 62 today, and for all that time, most have mispronounced my name. It's spelled Renna.
Rena. Oh, so it's Rena? Is it Rena?
Okay, well, I've also been saying that wrong.
You've been saying it wrong. Yeah.
My granny named me, but I'm good because the other one wanted Marchita. Thanks, Mama, for this one. Love you. Happy birthday. Rena. I hope I remember that. If I don't, forgive me because it looks like Rena. So I'll do my best. Leah says, exciting day here. It's only 2:42 p.m. and we've already had 3 separate siren events. The last one 30 minutes ago had loud booms, but no damage as far as I know. Prayer hands. Cheryl Taylor says, can we just get to the election already? So tired of the BS the media spouts daily. Girl.
Oh my gosh.
I feel
I know, right? Mock just wants to get to December. She's over everything right now.
I just need to fast forward so hard. Oh my God.
You have no idea.
And C. Douglas says, thank you everyone for your prayers. And then we had some from over the weekend. Alexandra on PayPal said, bonjour de Paris. Did some sightseeing yesterday. Went to mass in the most beautiful Gothic cathedral. Going to see the Eiffel Tower tonight. The day after tomorrow, I'm heading home back to the States. Hope you all have a great rest of your day today.
That sounds glorious.
I know. That sounds like quite a trip.
Mhm.
Sarah Napier said, welcome back from your long weekend, and thanks for sharing some of the exciting things with the insiders. We missed you. Today, Monday, October 21st, is Matt's and my 24th anniversary. Can you make sure it's a long show for us, but not too long since we have dinner planned? Thank you.
Happy anniversary.
Well, and then probably unbeknownst to each other, Matt also sent us a message saying to Sarah from Matt, happy 24th anniversary, the hottest 50-year-old on the planet, October 21st, 1 month ahead of you, Mock. Turkey baster Walz has no balls.
I love it. That's hysterical. I love that they both did that.
I know.
You guys.
Cute. Molly Lee said, glad to have you back, which we appreciate. And then I think from Wednesday's show, there was this from the Ball Pit crew over on Rumble from Rebel Queen 1965, who said, if they caught one terrorist, how many are still out there waiting to attack?
That's
a
true.
Question.
Very good question.
One thing that happened over the weekend is kind of terrifying, and that is that we're apparently now investigating a leak of super top secret U.S. intelligence about Israel's plans to retaliate against Iran. And this is major, like it's a major leak. There's apparently this is why Israel doesn't tell us shit, right? Because apparently we can't keep it to ourselves.
Yeah.
And so this was stuff that was marked top secret and had markings indicating they were only meant to be seen by the Five Eyes, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, and the UK. And so this is a big deal. Miranda Devine said, this is a massive scandal from the Harris-Biden administration. Who leaked these intelligence reports to Iran? What role did Blinken play? Was Harris aware that the CIA was spying on Israel? She should be pressed on this. This disaster is on her watch since Biden is sidelined, and she effectively is the president.
She will not be pressed.
I know, right? She
won't be.
She won't. And then there was this tweet that said, this is what you do to your very worst enemies, not to your allies, not to your friends. This is a massive security and intelligence failure and an unforgivable breach of trust by the U.S. and the Biden-Harris administration.
You know, Bibi hates her.
Right?
You know, he doesn't, he won't show it, but you know, deep down, he's like, I just cannot stand her.
Yeah.
He's all of us. Yeah.
I think you're absolutely right. And over the long weekend also, IDF got Sinwar, which was amazing. And then there was an attempt on Bibi's life, actually. They tried to blow up his house. He was not there, fortunately. And he had this to say about the attack.
Prime Minister, how is it going?
Well, 2 days ago, we took out Yahya Sinwar, the terrorist mastermind whose goons beheaded our men, raped our women, burnt babies alive. We took him out, and we're continuing our battle with Iran's other terrorist proxies. We're going to win this war.
So will something deter you?
No.
I love it.
Nope. You gotta love him.
He's like, again, he's tough. He's one of those guys that, like Trump, who's like, you missed.
Yeah. I mean, he's just a total badass. By the way, if you want to look like a total badass, you can do that by getting some patriotic gear just in time for Halloween with our friends at GruntStyle.com. Let me show you some of their Halloween stuff. They've got some very, very cool Halloween designs. They've got this Raven t-shirt. They wanted me to point out a very specific t-shirt, which is where is it? The crazy and loved. Oh, this one. The women's eternal love boyfriend fit t-shirt. But I gotta tell you, my favorite is this, the dad tax, making sure there's no tricks in your treats.
I love that. Oh my God, that's awesome.
They have the best designs. And then of course the witch please. I
have
love
that one.
And then this is just a regular, like one of their regular hoodies, which I love because they're so comfy and thick. And they've got all the cool like grunt style markings on them. So check out their stuff for Halloween. It goes fast. So if you want something from their Halloween collection, make sure to do that quickly. And you can get your patriotically ghoulish tees and hoodies today, again, at GruntStyle.com. Don't forget, if you're a new customer, if you've never gotten anything from them before and you use code CHICKS15 at checkout, you'll get 15% off your order. And if you're a repeat customer, obviously they thank you for that. And you can use code CHICKS10 to get 10% off of your next and every future order. Again, this is at GruntStyle.com. GruntStyle.com. Don't forget to use your Chicks15 or Chicks10 codes. All right. So back to where was it? Oh yeah, here I am. So we've just played Bibi. This we've got just a few more headlines to share with you that are sort of random and all over the place, but they had to be shared from this past 4-day weekend. First of all, would you look at what Michelle Obama makes for a speech?
Oh my God.
Even with this?
$741,000 for 1
hour.
Unbelievable. And then they have
of course, it's the diversity speech.
Right. And then her husband has the audacity to like talk to black men about who they should vote for. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and at some point you've made enough money. I don't know when that point is for them.
You're right. I'm just like you, brother. Okay, whatever. $741,000 for an hour.
Can you imagine?
I can't even wrap my brain around. No, I can't imagine.
Nope. I mean, she makes way more in 1 hour than most people make in 2 years.
Yeah.
Or three years.
Or four. Or 5.
I mean, that's just insane. Insane.
Yeah, it is insane. Yeah.
It's good gig if you can get it. Mm-hmm. Also, there's been a lot of talk about tariffs. You remember Trump's always asked about tariffs. He did that whole economic forum recently and was asked about tariffs, and naysayers say, oh, tariffs are going to, be job killers and they're going to raise prices of everything for Americans. But the fact of the matter is that Biden also has tariffs. And in fact, he actually employed some of Trump's tariffs from when Trump was president. And KJP was asked about a recent tariff that Biden has employed. She went on for like 5 straight minutes in some nonsensical non-answer, which I have cut away from this exchange that she had at her, I think it was her Friday presser. So I don't know who the reporter is, but the reporter first asks, hey, aren't these tariffs kind of the exact same as the ones that you complain about with Trump? And then comes the 5-minute long-winded answer. And then the reporter is like, perhaps I wasn't clear. You have to hear that part of the exchange because it's my absolute favorite when she's like, perhaps I just wasn't clear enough.
During the debate, the vice president described Trump's proposed tariffs as a sales tax on middle-class families. Today, the Biden administration announced new tariffs on about $18 billion worth of Chinese goods that will go into effect in 2 weeks. So can you talk about whether these new tariffs are fundamentally different from what Trump has proposed and how?
So the 301 tariff, the tariffs. So look, we made an announcement this morning, as you just, that went out early this morning. And I think the president, back in May, when he was announcing that he was going to take action, he said very clearly he was going to do that to protect Americans. And I think that matters.
So that I cut that answer. It literally went on for 3 or 4 minutes.
Shocker.
For real.
Mm-hmm.
It was crazy. And so then this is the tail end of that answer.
I'm sorry, I should have been more clear. Yeah. How is it not a sales tax on all the goods that people buy every day?
Look, what we're trying to do is making sure that we're protecting American workers and businesses. That
Okay.
Well, how is that? I don't. Still not being clear. You're not being clear.
Totally not clear.
Nope.
And there was a lot of, she was looking, man, what is the answer to this question in my big binder? Where is it?
Yep, I don't have it. I can't. Yeah, she is useless.
Useless. Mm-hmm. Elon Musk has announced a brand new initiative, which is very, very exciting. He is giving away $1 million to one random person per day between now and the election from one of the key swing states who has signed his America PAC petition. And so you don't even need to register to vote to be eligible for this $1 million giveaway. You just have to sign the petition. That's it. And he's already given away the first $2 million, which is absolutely amazing. After he gave away the first $1 million, he noticed, this is so weird. The mainstream media isn't picking up on this story. Why would that be? This is like a big, big story. And so he decided to make a bigger announcement about it at one of the rallies.
We're going to be awarding $1 million to randomly to people who have signed the petition every day from now until the election. One of the challenges we're having is like, well, how do we get people to know about this petition? Because the legacy media won't report on it. You know, not everyone's on X. So I figure, how do we get people to know about it? Well, this news, I think, is going to really fly.
And it did.
It did, yeah. And their heads are exploding over it. I mean, their heads are seriously exploding over it. I'm not in a swing state, and I actually tried to do it because I really, really want $1 million. You guys have no idea.
Same.
I got on the site, and I was like, please, God, let me get through. Just let me get through. I need to win this.
I know, man, but if somebody, these people are so freaking lucky. And so here is what it looks like when somebody won the $1 million.
And the next thing we'd like to do is to announce today's winner of the $1 million prize.
Can you imagine being there and hearing that?
Christine Fischel.
Oh my God. I would
you like to come
my
up?
mind. You guys have got to do this. If you guys are in a swing state, do this.
I cannot even imagine.
Yeah, if you're in a non-swing state, you're not eligible. Look at her. Her life just changed.
Totally.
I would pee myself too, Cruella DeVille.
You're most welcome.
Oh my God. I'd be hugging the crap out of him.
I'd be crying. And
Yeah,
there would be all kinds of scenes being
You would
made.
break his back with the hug. Yeah.
I totally would.
It's so true. So exciting. That's so neat, right? Like
it really is.
It really is cool. I love it. So if you are in a swing state, I encourage you to do this.
Yeah, why would you not? I mean, absolutely. Sign up and then go to one of the rallies that he's hosting.
I would love it if one of our people won this.
Oh my God, can you even imagine?
It would be the greatest thing ever. I would be so
my
excited if one of you guys got the $1 million. So I can't win $1 million because I'm not in a swing state, but I would, I would love to win it too, but I can't. So if one of you guys won it, oh God.
I'm going to have to tell my kid to sign up because
I know
he's in North Carolina and I believe that qualifies.
Yeah.
So naturally, because Elon is doing something amazing and something good, the left hates it. And so now they're trying to figure out, how can we make this something we can sue him over or criminally charge him with?
My God.
No joke. They're trying to figure
people.
out how it's illegal. Behold, Kristen Welker and Josh Shapiro.
Now, let me ask you about a development we learned about overnight. Elon Musk says he will be giving away $1 million every day to random voters who sign his super PAC's petition. You are a former attorney general. Is this legal?
I think there are real questions with how he is spending money in this race, how the dark money is flowing.
Do you think it might not be legal, yes or no?
I think it's something that law enforcement can take a look at. I'm not the attorney general anymore of Pennsylvania. I'm the governor, but it does raise some serious questions.
It does, doesn't it? Look at that, you guys. It's the party of joy. Look at them. Look how joyful they are. God, douche canoes these people are. They're absolutely joyless is what they are. And then they're like, look at us. We're so happy. Oh, wait, we're not. Not at all.
And they can't try to say that this is buying votes because you're not even required to register to vote.
Nope.
It's just to sign a petition saying you believe in the First and Second Amendment.
Yep.
That's
just
not
rich
vote buying.
Listen, he's just rich as balls because he's a capitalist who did really well in life, and he can do this. And that to me is the American dream. I want to be like him. Yeah. I told my 14-year-old daughter about this last night, and I was like, that's what you want, right? You want to be able to be a person who can do this with your money and be like, hey, I can just give $1 million away every single day. You know why? Because I can. How cool is that?
I know. It's amazing. Even Bill Maher had to talk about on his panel, which we'll get to the panel in a little while, but he had a ridiculous panel on to talk about all kinds of issues. And he was talking about what we talked about last week, which was that Elon had asked the state of California for the ability to launch rockets off of the coast in California, and it was denied, admittedly, by California because of his political views. And Bill Maher even was like, that's insane.
Commissioner Carol Hart saying, we're dealing with a company, the head of which has aggressively injected himself into the presidential race and made it clear what his point of view is. Yes, because he lives in America, and he can do that.
Right.
It has nothing to do with this. And, the right thinks that the left is in a very different place with free speech than they have been before, and they're not wrong. They're not wrong. This is arrogant. You don't punish somebody. It would be like if we stopped Henry Ford from making the cars because we didn't like what
but can you take one anecdotal example? One idiot, right? Truly an idiot to stop.
This is not an idiot. This is someone with power.
Why does Mark Cuban look like a lesbian now? Why?
We'll get to that as well.
I mean, it's ridiculous. And were they all mad when Mark Zuckerberg squelched information because he was a leftist? Don't remember them being mad about that during COVID. Do you?
And he spent $400 million to mess with elections.
It's so weird how nobody was mad about that.
Nobody cares about that.
So weird.
It is really, really weird.
Mm-hmm.
So weird.
It is.
You guys, there's not much we can do to change the outcome of the election. You can obviously vote. That's your only power, but we can't control what's going to happen. And so if you are close to retirement, or if you're thinking about retirement, or if you're in retirement and you haven't thought about possibly maybe diversifying into some precious metals, let me just tell you that in the past 4 years, I read the stat this morning and I was like, holy crap. In the past 4 years, the buying power of the dollar has declined. The price of gold has increased 40%. 40%. So, I mean, it's not nothing, right? I mean, it's an important thing to have as part of your whole financial portfolio. And there's nobody that does it better than Birch Gold, our friends at Birch Gold. And they also have the best information to teach you about it. This is what the information kit that I got looked like. I don't know if they still do like a hard mailer copy or if they do this all electronically, but this was so interesting to me. And I don't like, this stuff is usually super boring, but when I read it, they just have this way of explaining the process that makes it interesting and easy to understand. And so it's free. That whole information kit is free. There's no obligation once you get it. So there's no reason that you shouldn't just text the word chicks to 989898 and get your hands on that free information kit and then just learn about how it might help you with your own retirement planning. So again, text the word chicks to 989898. It should come as no surprise to anyone that it's white, liberal, suburban women who are coming out in droves for Kamala. These are the women that make me wish women were no longer allowed to vote. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they are awful. And now, speaking of being awful, that is the new acronym that I just saw floating around. The Awfuls. Affluent, white, female, urban liberals. That is who could actually swing this election. And they just happen to be the most mentally ill.
It's shocker. They're all in therapy. Right. And it's not working. None of it's working. No.
Nope. Last week we talked, was it last week? Now I'm getting all my days confused. 60 Minutes, of course, is getting blasted for their egregious editing of the Kamala Harris interview and the fact that they won't release a transcript, which is highly unusual. And so just yesterday, they released a statement in response to all the criticism. And you guys, it is lame AF. Please read this.
Oh my God, it's so little. Okay. Former President Donald Trump is accusing 60 Minutes of deceitful editing of our October 7th interview with Vice President Kamala Harris. That is false. 60 Minutes gave an excerpt of our interview to Face the Nation that used a longer section of her answer than that on 60 Minutes. Same question, same answer, but a different portion of the response. When we edit any interview, whether a politician, an athlete, or a movie star, we strive to be clear, accurate, and on point. I'm sorry, that's funny. The portion of her answer on 60 Minutes was more succinct, which allows time for other subjects in a wide-ranging 21-minute long segment. Remember, Mr. Trump pulled out of his interview with 60 Minutes, and the vice president participated. God, I hate these people so much.
Oh my God.
I hate them. Our longstanding invitation to former President Trump remains open. If he would like to Yeah, right. Exactly. If he would like to discuss the issues facing the nation in the Harris interview, we would be happy to have him on 60 Minutes. How about you suck a bowl? God, these people are insufferable.
And it's a lie. And that's what Ryan Saavedra posted. This is a lie. Harris's first answer: the work that we have done has resulted in a number of movements in that region by Israel that were very much prompted by or a result of many things, including our advocacy for what needs to happen in that region. The second answer was, we're not going to stop pursuing what is necessary for the U.S. to be clear about where we stand on the need for this war to end. Those are not the same answer.
Exactly. They edit like crazy. They edit. They're editors.
Yeah. He said CBS could just release the full transcript and prove that Trump's claims are false. Oh, I didn't want to show you that.
Oh my God, so funny. I'm sorry.
But they didn't do that, and it took them 2 weeks to come up with this lousy statement that is full of false statements.
Yeah.
So just ridiculous.
They manipulate the truth. They suck.
Yep.
60 Minutes sucks, and they know it.
Okay, now I can show you the jacked
Okay,
up
what
deer.
is this? Seriously, what is it? Is that RFK? What is that?
It's a dude who identifies as a deer who was accidentally shot by hunters. And the comment says, kudos to the hunters for accepting him for what he is. I died.
Oh my God. I love
so
it. The top heartwarming story of acceptance. You guys, I cannot. Our world, man.
I love that.
When I see stuff like that, I'm like, all right. Yeah. Okay. We're doing things right. That's
right. I mean,
that's it. You got to accept people for who they are. And that guy is a jacked up deer is what he is. And if you're going to identify as a jacked up deer, you know what's going to happen? You're going to get shot. You're going to get shot, you guys.
Oh my God. The greatest thing of all time.
That was the greatest tweet of the weekend.
All right. I know this is a rewind, but we didn't get to talk about the Kamala Bret Baier interview. And so I know by now everybody has seen all of it, and it was the greatest interview of all time, basically. We watched it. I watched it while my husband was driving. I watched it on my phone as it was happening in real time. And both of us were like this, like the whole time. We had our hands over our mouths. We were in major, oh my God, this is so cringe the entire time, but like in the best way. You know what I mean?
I really didn't even think it was cringe. She's just awful. She is
oh my God.
She has many different personalities.
She does. And she showed them all in that interview.
Mm-hmm.
But for everybody that was naysaying Bret Baier, I don't know how much more you could have expected out of him. He was awesome.
He tried.
He was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he tried. Exactly. Like he cut her off at every time that she was trying to go on to one of her stupid scripted answers. He was like, no, I am not having it. Mm-hmm. And it was awesome. We do have the question, just a couple clips, just in case for some reason people haven't seen them. A couple of the favorites. One, when he just outright asked her in the best way when she knew that Joe Biden was like completely mental.
When did you first notice that President Biden's mental faculties appeared diminished?
Joe Biden, I have watched from the Oval Office to the Situation Room, and he has the judgment and the experience to do exactly what he has done in making very important decisions on behalf of the American people.
There were no concerns raised?
Joe Biden is not on the ballot.
I understand.
And Donald Trump
but
is.
You talked about it.
And Donald Trump
After George Clooney said within a few minutes of talking to President Biden at a fundraiser that he thought this was not the same Joe Biden that we saw on the debate stage.
Donald Trump is on the ballot.
I understand. You met with him at least once a week for 3.5 years. You didn't have any concerns?
I think the American people have a concern about Donald Trump.
No, I don't have any concerns about Donald Trump. Do y'all? I don't have any concerns.
She brought him up so
oh my God.
times.
It was a crutch.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That was bad. And then there was the moment where he outright said, listen, polls still say that people trust him more than they trust you on like a whole bunch of issues. If he's so bad, why is that? And then this is my favorite part of the interview. And she was like, you know what I'm talking about. And he's like, no,
he was
I
like,
actually
I
don't.
I don't know what you're talking about.
More
Nobody
than
knows.
70% of people tell the country is on the wrong track.
Nobody.
They say the country is on the wrong track. If it's on the wrong track, that track follows 3.5 years of you being vice president and President Biden being president. That is what they're saying, 79% of them. Why are they saying that? If you're turning the page, you've been in office for 3.5 years.
And Donald Trump has been running for office.
But you've been the person holding the office.
Come on.
Madam
You
Vice
and I
President.
both know what I'm talking about. You and I both know what I'm talking about.
I actually don't. What are you talking about?
What I'm talking about is that over the last decade,
You're
people
the
have
level of
become,
power.
but
No, nobody knows what you're talking about. We hardly ever know what you're talking about, Kamala.
That was just, I just love that. No, I have no idea.
Nobody knows what the F you're talking about. Word
That
salad
was
queen.
glorious.
It really was. Gosh, she looked like an idiot in that interview.
And then there was the moment where he was like, so what are you just saying? Are you trying to say that all these people are just stupid? And this happened.
So are they misguided, the 50%?
Listen,
Are they stupid? What is
God,
it?
I would never say that about the American people.
Never.
What else do we know about this population, 18 through 24? They are stupid.
Whoops.
She would never say that, you guys. Only she did.
And then there was like this part, she was so testy with him. I mean, she did the whole, would you let me finish? I'm speaking. I need to speak. You need to let me finish. I mean, it was just very, very contentious. And then she turned on her like shrill Hillary like persona where she just gets super mad. And that was evident towards the sort of latter part of the interview.
Talked about locking people up because they disagree with him. This is a democracy. And in a democracy, the president of the United States, in the United States of America, should be willing to be able to handle criticism without saying he'd lock people up for doing it.
Dana.
Okay.
Ooh, dang.
It's like you said it so well the other day. You're like, she was hysterical. She did. She looked like a total hysterical harpy. She looked ridiculous in that interview.
And his face, when you pointed, like, look at his face.
He was like,
he knew that she was like creating her own little moment there. And he was just like,
and he was, yeah.
Please go ahead.
You just go on with your tirade. Okay. Are you done? Are you done?
So great.
Having your little meltdown. It's like it's like every mom looking at a toddler having a complete meltdown. Are you done?
You good?
You good now?
You get that out of your system?
Yeah. We'll wait over here.
Exactly. Well, and it turns out that she was late to the interview. She'd only promised a half an hour. She was late. And then towards the end, there were all kinds of people flagging him to wrap it up because they knew that this was not going well. And here is Bret almost immediately after to tell about that behind the scenes moment.
On the other side, you've been on the rapper as a press secretary interviewing a president. And, you know, I'm talking like 4 people waving their hands like it's got to stop. So Martha, I had to dismount there at the end. There's so many things, and she maybe should do more of these.
I mean, she has no respect. She comes in there. She has zero respect for him and for Fox. She came in already defensive, and then she gave him like 20 minutes. And then she was failing. And so her team was like, her comms team obviously was freaking out. He had 4 people waving, saying, oh my God, get her the hell out of here. Abort mission. And so that's exactly what happened because they knew that she was failing. And then people on the left had the audacity to say, she did great.
She's so really tough. Look at how tough
tough she is with Bret Baier. Give me a break. She's an utter failure, this chick.
I thought actually that S.E. Cupp, who I cannot stand, but I thought she actually called it pretty fairly.
Vice President,
And
they're giving me a hard rap
Well,
here.
I thank you for the time.
I thank you for the time.
It's good to meet you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You hated meeting him.
Listen, I know Brett, and he is, I think, a really fair person. And there's an interview he did with Trump where he is ruthless with Trump. And I would compare those two. I think she got a fair shake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's
She did.
exactly why JD said the same thing. Bret Baier interviewed Trump and interrupted him 20 times, followed up constantly. It didn't even register to me at the time because Trump just does interviews all the time.
Right. Uh-huh.
Kamala does one and her campaign whines about it for days, and they have been. Oh my
and
God.
they call it mansplaining. You know why? Because she's a woman. This is the thing. Is she gonna do that when she's talking to all these male world leaders out there? If she can't handle it, GTFO, lady. Because you know who can handle it? Trump. He doesn't bitch about it, and nobody ever says, "Oh my God, Trump's being mansplained to." I mean, this is the thing. It drives me crazy because she is a woman, and so people are like, "Oh, look at her. She did a big girl interview, and she got beat up on by Bret Baier." No, she didn't. She was given the same kind of interview as Trump was. And if she can't handle it, stay out of the kitchen, lady. It's unreal. There's such a double standard.
You guys, I was going to tell you all about Ruff Greens, and I still will. This is the absolutely perfect nutritional supplement for your dogs and now cats, because they have meow greens too. This is all thanks to naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black, his magic formula that helps your dogs and cats live their longest, bestest, healthiest lives. But what better way to show you how great it is and how much your dogs and cats will like it than to show a homemade ad from Donna, who watched Ella Dog and fed Ella Dog and her dog Boo Ruff Greens.
2 dogs thoroughly enjoying their Ruff Greens. Ella Dog.
She's
You like
done.
your Ruff Greens. Make sure you lick all the goodness out of there.
Look at her go.
And there's her 3-legged dog Boo.
She's 3-legged.
Boo Boo.
Yeah.
Are you loving your Ruff Greens?
She's like, I'm not paying attention to you, Mom. I got stuff to eat. Go away.
Lots of goodness. And 1 package of Ruff Greens.
Love it.
Sweet
So
girl.
you can get a free, this is the size of the free Jumpstart trial bag. And you can get this for free when you just go to ruffchicks.com. That's RUFF chicks.com. You can either get the Ruff Greens for dogs or you can try the Meow Greens for cats. Either way, you go to the same website, ruffchicks.com. Go there. Get yourself some Ruff Greens. Okay, a little bit more reaction to the Bret Baier interview. Laura Ingraham had on Doug Schoen to talk about whether or not this would have any impact on her candidacy. And here is what he said.
Do you think this interview helped her at all, marginally, or not at all?
I don't think it helped at all. I think she felt she'd reach some swing voters. But to me, the absence of clear answers, the real sense of, confusion to perfectly logical questions that Brett asked, to me, suggests that it underscored all the issues and concerns the few undecided swing voters have. Don't think it helped a bit, and it may well hurt her.
Yeah, I think it totally hurt her.
It just not, she's definitely not getting a bump from it. That is for sure.
Yep.
And then to your point earlier, a lot of people complained about the woman thing, that he mistreated her somehow because she's a woman. That, of course, is what the hags on The View said.
I mean, look, the constant jumping in, I couldn't help but feel it's because she's a woman that he's going to keep doing this. So it got a little hard to watch it.
It was hard to watch, you guys. It was hard. He should have given her a break, because she has lady parts.
Exactly.
Is she going to get a break from other world leaders because she's a woman? This is the thing. Okay, well, if that's the case, if she feels like she needs special treatment, she is not cut out to do this job. Period.
Exactly. And even Bill Maher just called Bret a name. He was very unhappy with how he treated Kamala.
The interview was conducted by Bret Baier. Do you know this guy? I must say, I have him pegged wrong. I'd always heard about him. I don't watch Fox News that much, so I didn't know. I thought they kept saying he was the most legitimate journalist on Fox News. No, actually, he was a huge asshole.
Well, he's wrong.
He is wrong.
He's not used to seeing journalism.
Exactly.
I think everybody has gotten so far removed from journalists and journalism, they don't even know what it looks like anymore. So there's that.
Don Trump Jr., I thought, had the best summary of how that interview went.
How's she going to do against Vladimir Putin? How's she going to do against the mullahs in Iran?
Right.
How's she going to do against Xi or North Korea or any of the other enemies of America, any of the other enemies of freedom around the world? She's going to get steamrolled. This is not a competent person that can handle this. She got unhinged in a very basic interview.
Yeah.
Totally true.
And are we going to see the women on The View and Bill Maher saying, oh, she wasn't treated fairly by Putin and by all these other world leaders?
Right?
Really? Nobody gives a shit. Okay. You know, it's like this. If she can't do the job, then she needs to just step aside and let somebody who can actually do the job do the job.
Now, to be fair, which, I mean, I'm just trying to be fair, but it really is all of the mainstream media outlets who are providing her that cover and saying that she was mistreated and that Bret was awful and that he was unfair. She has not said anything about that interview. So she could go out there and whine, but she hasn't, which I guess.
Yeah, but her level of defensiveness going in shows you how she feels about it. You could tell her demeanor in that interview going in was 1,000% different than it was in other interviews. Just the way that she acted. She was so put off by even being there. She was afraid to go in, first of all, and then she was put off and defensive while she was sitting there and acted completely different. She was just like on edge. And then she had to get that. She only spent 25 minutes with the guy. And then she could not wait to get out of there. Her team couldn't wait to get her out of there.
Yeah,
because she's so if that is an indication of how she's going to be on the world stage, we are screwed if this woman gets into office.
Oh my God.
It's terrifying.
Oh my God. Yeah. You said earlier that Mark Cuban looks like a lesbian. He is looking more and more like a lesbian. And Elon Musk also had this comparison to make about Mark Cuban.
I mean, I saw an interview with Mark Cuban and what's her name again? Rachel Maddow. But I couldn't tell which was which.
It's so true. He's fully transitioned into a lesbian. Look at him with the glasses and everything. Like he's fully transitioned.
I know. Just cracks me up.
I mean, like his face and like the shape of his face and everything. Like he's slimmed down or something. Like
something's going on.
He's become more feminine. I don't know. Is he taking hormones or something? I don't know. I'm not trying to start a rumor. He
and David Hogg and Joe Scarborough were the ones that Bill Maher picked to have on his panel to discuss why Kamala is losing man support.
Oh my
God.
I'm
like, don't you want to talk to actual men about that?
Right.
And
that
not
would be
those three. He did not make that choice. But Mark Cuban was asked about that separately, like what's going on with the male vote. And he says it's all about social algorithms because when you see football, you think of Trump or something. Right?
Well, I mean, it's a social media thing. I mean, we live in a world of algorithms where you get reinforced what you're already looking at. And if you're a guy and you're looking at football, which leads to, something else, which leads to Donald Trump, it's not surprising.
Wait, you're going to have to break that down for me. If you're a guy who watches football, you're automatically going to be a Trump supporter? Is that what I'm hearing?
He thinks that if you're a guy that likes football, you're going to see football related stuff in your algorithm. And therefore you will also see Trump stuff. And so it's going to reinforce the kind of masculinity you have that will make you be a Trump supporter.
Okay. Is that bad?
I don't think it's bad.
Because that's the kind of guy that I'm going to align myself with.
Right.
As opposed to a Mark Cuban kind of guy, which I don't even know. Is that a guy? I don't know. I'm a little worried.
It's questionable at this point. It is questionable.
Yeah, Exactly.
So, had to show this meme. How lesbians look in movies, how lesbians look in real life.
I feel like the top picture has a bigger sperm count. Am I wrong?
You may not be wrong.
Because
may not be wrong. And also, speaking of gay, you guys, in no time, at no time, no matter what freeze frame you might have of a video of my husband, would he ever be in this position?
Nope.
Ever.
Greg would never be in this position either.
It's just not possible.
It isn't possible. Like he's ever. In the 20 plus years that I've known my husband, never has he ever walked this way or been caught walking this way. Ever.
It's just there. You could not ever freeze time and have him be in this position. It just it would not happen.
We could set this to West Side Story. Like he's going into a dance battle right now. That's what he's doing. He's getting ready to do that. So why are you gay? Why are you gay?
Well, just wait, because you know I'm going to use that clip.
Hello.
And that is something actually that Tucker is even saying out loud now, as he did in this interview.
Oh my God.
Or like Tim Walz is very obviously gay. I look at him, I'm like, well, you're gay. And I'm sure I'll be attacked for saying that. Maybe he's not gay, but he certainly seems gay.
We won't attack you. Yeah, it's obviously he's totally gay.
Why are you
gay?
Speaking of gay, look at the creature that is the president of the Kamala, the Harris Walz student group in Detroit.
In Wayne State. Yeah.
Right. Hello, Detroit. How are y'all doing? All right. My name is Maxine Kirkpatrick. I am a born and bred Michigander, a fellow on the Michigan One campaign, and president of Students for Harris Walz at Wayne State University.
That individual was a runner-up for like that real masculinity ad that we saw 3 weeks ago. They were going to put a pitchfork in its hand and be like, "Look, it's a rancher. Look." This is real masculinity, you guys. Like, was that? I honestly don't know. Was that a man or a woman? I don't know.
I think that's a dude. I'm pretty sure that.
What was it? What was its name again? Maxine?
Maxim?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, China and Iran are super petrified of us, you guys. Petrified. Mm-hmm.
And speaking of people who may or may not be gay, Lindsey Graham has a plea to make to people to stay engaged because we endanger, girl.
The United States Senate needs to have enough Republicans to help this president enact his agenda. I don't want 51, I want more. So I'm here tonight to give you a wake-up call. You said every vote counts. Well, every donation counts too. We're getting creamed on the Senate when it comes to raising money. Wisconsin, Ohio, and Michigan, our candidates are being outraised 3-1.
That's not good.
It isn't. But I think a lot of Republicans are just sick of giving money to the government, to any government entity anywhere. That's how I feel. I mean, I'm just being honest. It's hard for me to give money to campaigns at this point. It's really tough because I'm like, you guys take enough of my money. I'm just tired. I'm tired I don't have it. Okay. Right. Like you take 40% in taxes. I'm like, there's inflation. I got to pay for all these things and I'm like already drowning. I don't have it. So I'm sorry that you want it, Lindsey Graham, but you know what I mean? But a lot of us are drowning here.
Yeah.
And we're paying for all these other people to live in nice apartments, illegals, and to do all of these things. And we don't have any left. It's like getting blood from a turnip. I don't know what to tell you, Lindsey.
I mean, Lindsey's got to suck it up.
You got to suck it up. Yeah. Do better.
But it is a worry. I mean, it is a worry that they're outraising Republicans by so much. That's kind of terrifying.
Hopefully we'll win by outvoting, because I don't know what to tell these people because they have sucked me dry.
I know. And I hope that that's true. But we're already hearing from various states, Secretary of States, just gearing everybody up to not expect results on election night, which is so infuriating. And one of those people, I don't even know this broad's name. I'm sure it's Jocelyn something or other. She's the Secretary of State in Michigan. You guys, something is wrong with this woman's eyes. It totally freaked me out over the weekend. Look.
Expect to get results. Well, you know, in 2020, we had the results of our highest turnout election in Michigan history within 24 hours of the polls closing. The unofficial results were completed by
Is she a
8 p.m. on
shapeshifter? What
Wednesday.
is she?
So we're tracking that again this year. We do have more options to process ballots sooner than Election Day, which is where we were restricted in 2020. So I'm optimistic we could see results even sooner, but I would estimate end of the day on Wednesday as the best guess on how we'll perform. But that said, we will always prioritize accuracy and security over efficiency.
Okay, there was a mild
understanding how
blink.
much people
That's a
want those
robot. That is
results.
not a
We're still
person.
going to make sure the process is secure and accurate before we put anything out to the public. But that said, we understand people's energy and excitement, and we'll be working hard to ensure those results are ready as soon as possible.
I don't believe that's a real person. I don't. I can't believe it. I don't think.
I mean, and they're a little wonky. Like it wasn't just that she took forever to blink. It's like they're off center.
Yeah, I was waiting for her to like blink and then open and then to be sideways or something, you know, like one of those weird alien movies.
Is not real.
She's not real, you guys.
And then for no reason, I have a Scott Jennings clip.
Of course.
I mean,
We have to have one every day. It's sort of. I mean, not really.
Sort of.
But we just need to all look at Scott Jennings, you guys, once a day. Here we go.
Well, it's because there's so many people that try to say that, you know, wanting voter ID or wanting paper ballots or wanting like our elections to have integrity means that people are getting disenfranchised and it's suppressing minorities.
Racist.
It's such bullshit. And he's calling out the bullshit, which I thought was great.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm shocked to hear you say that people are voting like crazy in Georgia. I was told by Democrats that nobody could vote in Georgia, that they tightened all the laws and nobody could find their polling places and everyone's going to die of thirst. So, oh my gosh, I just can't believe the news about people can actually vote in Georgia. Look, it's never been easier to vote in America. And I think it's a good thing that people are casting their ballots and exercising their franchise. I think the data is a bit of a witch's cauldron, but Republicans right now in a few states are pretty excited about what they're seeing in terms of what you just said, Republicans grasping onto voting early and voting by mail.
Yeah, he's right. But is there really is going to be a CNN town hall for Kamala, whatever the hell her name is? There's going to be, yeah, I just saw that. There's going to be a CNN town hall for her. I am not prepared to talk about that. I just saw that. It said 4 days, so I'm assuming it's going to be this week. It's probably going to be like today or tomorrow.
Is it going to be at 9?
Knowing CNN and how evil they are, yes, Mock. Yes.
Damn it.
I feel like it's going to be at 9. And we're going to have to talk about that, which, why do they have to do that to us?
Oh my God. It's just the meanest. I don't want to. I can't. I don't want to.
Cannot. Oh, wait. Somebody said she had it yesterday. Was it yesterday?
Really? I didn't
don't
see anything about that this morning.
I don't think it's yesterday. I think it's this week, isn't it? Yeah.
Or maybe it was just so uneventful that like.
Anyways, if it's happening, it is torture. It's torture.
Oh God, the worst kind for real.
deal.
This was a hilarious clip that was making the rounds because Barack Obama and Bill Clinton and Joe Biden attended Ethel Kennedy's funeral. And there was this moment where everybody was like, oh my God, what are Joe Biden and Obama talking about? It looks tense. And so somebody decided to do a voiceover.
So is Kamala doing okay?
Nope. She's down, Joe. I think they found out that she's retarded, and now we're basically fucked. Trump is killing us at the polls, so yes, we're going to lose Joe.
Damn it. Wait. What if I come back to run again?
As candidate?
Yeah.
Well, let me put it this way, Joe. The only person in this world who is even more retarded than Kamala Harris is basically you. So no, Joe,
on, man.
you're
Just
not going
give
back
another
in.
shot.
Let's let it all play out. Okay, we'll talk later, Joe.
Okay.
Women looking fine up in here.
Bill Clinton part is the greatest. That is just so great. I saw that he actually, in his eulogy, he talked about how Ethel Kennedy flirted with him.
Bill Clinton did?
Yes. He talked about that in his eulogy. And I'm like, can you just like back off for 1 second, horn dog? Like,
oh my God.
Can you just go for maybe 5 minutes without talking about that? God.
I don't think he can. I mean, even at his advanced age.
Either. Yeah.
Yikes. Let's take a break to say some thank yous. Karen Marisco says Kamala shows her heart as she tells a rally goer, "You're at the wrong rally," when they say Jesus Lord. Would you let me get to our stories, you guys? Why do you always got to jump all my sharks? I'm going to get to the story. I promise you. Even she thinks it would be hypocritical to vote for her. Me too. Becky Kaufman says, I just signed the petition in AZ. You will also get $47 per person you refer to sign the petition to. Cha-ching, she says.
$47? Why 47?
Because he'll be the 47th president.
Okay. All right. That makes sense.
I'm assuming that's why.
All right.
Suki says, as I've said before, she must want to sleep with Trump because she can't keep him out of her mouth.
Okay.
Judy Flood says Harris can't do an interview without lying. She was defensive on Fox. Absolutely right.
Yeah.
Stuart the Brit says your kids' Christian upbringing usually once a year dress up in demonic costumes. Explain. Halloween, Stuart. It's Halloween.
And they're not always demonic.
Sometimes they're like cute little animals and stuff.
Sometimes they dress up as like M&Ms and stuff like that, you know?
Yeah. It's not always demonic.
No.
Melody Daniel says Liam Neeson vibes from Bibi. I have a particular set of skills and I will find you. I say, get him, Bibi. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Tina Kramer says, congratulations to my baby girl on the delivery of my grandbaby girl, Hazel Ray, on Wednesday the 16th. She is so very beautiful. She was delivered 3 weeks early. Both are healthy and doing great.
That's so wonderful. Beautiful name too.
Mm-hmm. The photo in the story says, so glad I wed a based Catholic woman and not an awful. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
You should be glad. Leah says 60 Minutes. Trump accused us of editing the interview. That is false. Also 60 Minutes. We edited the interview to make it more succinct.
Yeah.
Gaslighting.
Uh-huh.
Stuart the Brit says in England, especially where I live, we stopped talking to American tourists. The long answer? I don't know what that means.
I don't either. I don't know either.
Laura Kate Baker says, I was rear-ended last Monday night. Hopefully I'll be able to go to early voting. Complicated since I have a handicap van. Oh. Laura, just have somebody take you somehow. You have to go.
Yeah, you do.
Or like do it, figure out if you can do it absentee somehow, but you must do it. Leah says, tons of communities, not mine, getting sirens right now. I can see interceptions from my balcony. Oh, God. Curio 23 says Daisy trying to kill us with the higher sperm count.
Not trying to kill you.
Erin Powers, who by the way is our resident lesbian, she says my official gaydar confirms Walz is gay and Mark Cuban is now a lesbian, though not my type.
I love it.
She says, y'all knew I had to chime in on the gay segment of today's program. Take my money.
I love it.
That's perfect. All right. We also have to do a little bit of a rewind to, I think it was it Thursday or Friday night, the Al Smith dinner? I'm not sure which night it was. It was when I was gone.
I think it was Friday, wasn't it?
Maybe, but we'll do a couple of little recaps from that. Jim Gaffigan was the MC and he was pretty funny. He talked right out of the gate about how ridiculous it was for Kamala to not be there.
Yeah.
She's the first in like 40 years to not show at one of these things. Here he is talking about that.
You know, this event has been referred to as the Catholic Met Gala. 22% of Americans identify as Catholic. Catholics will be a key demographic in every battleground state. I'm sorry, why is Vice President Harris not here? I mean, consider this. This is a room full of Catholics and Jews in New York City. This is a layup for the Democratic nominee.
You would think.
I mean, in her defense, I mean, she did find time to appear on The View, Howard Stern, Colbert, and the longtime staple of campaigning, the Call Her Daddy podcast. You know what I think it is? I think she doesn't like me.
It is pretty interesting. Again, like, where's the joy? You know?
Yeah.
She's afraid of being made fun of. She's that insecure. You guys, this woman cannot be president. Okay.
She cannot.
Like, they don't corner the market on happiness and joy.
Not at all.
These people are insufferable.
Have they met
can't-
us? Hello?
Right. I know. Exactly. and the thing is, she can't even poke fun at herself. Like,
Yeah.
as an adult, as a 60-year-old woman, if you can't do that, there is something seriously wrong with you. Come on.
I mean, and she tried to do this fun SNL, collab with what's her name? What's her name?
I can't remember what her name is.
Molly Shannon.
Molly Shannon. But
she recorded this instead of going. She recorded this and they had to play it at the dinner. And it was just...
It's cringe.
It's so cringe.
Oh, sorry. Hey, what's going on? Who was that?
Oh, sorry, Mary Catherine Elliott. Mary Catherine Elliott. It's so nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you, Mary Catherine. Right now, I'm trying to record my speech for tonight's dinner.
Oh, yeah, I know. I just want to say that I'm Catholic, and tonight is one of the biggest dinners next to the Last Supper.
It is a very important dinner, and it's an important tradition that I'm so proud to be a part of.
Sometimes when I get nervous, I stick my fingers under my arms and I simmer them like that. But that's gross.
So tell me something. I'm giving a speech. Do you have some thoughts about what I might say tonight?
My feelings about what you should say tonight would be best expressed in a monologue from one of my favorite made-for-TV series.
Okay, let's hear it.
I'm already bored.
Don't you see, man? We need a woman to represent us. A woman brings more heart, more compassion. And think how smart she must be to become a top contender in a field dominated by men. It's time for a woman, bro. And with this woman, we can fly.
My God.
What series was that from?
Oh, that's from House of Dragons, now streaming on HBO Max.
Is there anything that you think that maybe I shouldn't bring up tonight?
Well, don't lie. Thou shalt not bear false witness to thy neighbor.
Indeed, especially thy neighbor's election results.
Just so you know, there will be a fact checker there tonight.
God. This is the dumbest thing ever.
Who?
Jesus. And maybe don't say anything negative about Catholics.
I would never do that, no matter where I was. That would be like criticizing Detroit in Detroit.
Does it bother you that Trump guy insults you all the time?
So
It
bad.
really bothers my friends and me.
Oh, Mary Catherine, it's very important to always remember you should never let anyone tell you who you are. You tell them who you are.
Haters gonna hate, hate, hate. Shake it off.
Shake it off.
Shake it off.
Shake it off. Good for you, Mary Catherine.
Oh, yeah, okay. And also remember one more thing. Don't worry if you make a mistake, because Catholic people are very forgiving. Yeah. And also, one last thing I want to tell you, don't forget to say, superstar!
Thank you, Mary Catherine.
Thank you, Mamala.
Thank you.
Except for she's not going.
Your
we cannot watch.
eminence
Oh my God,
and
we can't.
distinguished guests.
She gave a speech,
The Al
which
Smith
we're not going to
dinner
show the whole thing.
provides a
No,
rare
it's-
opportunity
You got to
to
stop
set aside partisanship.
You got to stop. It's so stupid because nobody wants to hear a speech, right? It's like, that's not what this was for. And she used a fake Catholic in a skit, which is just so indicative of what she does all the time. She's always in a skit. And she's thin-skinned like an actor, which is basically how actors are, right? They're all very insecure. Okay, maybe not all, but a lot of them are insecure. And they couldn't do this. They couldn't get up on a stage and do this and like take the ribbing and take the, they make fun of each other. You should be able to like be self-deprecating. And she's not that way. And so she didn't show up because she is insecure and she's weak. And the fact that she didn't show up should be like a huge red flag for all of us, or at least for the people who are on the fence. I don't know who those people are, to go, wow, she couldn't show up to this.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And this is a long-standing tradition that she just couldn't be at. And so there was reaction after they played that clip that you just saw in its entirety. And it sounded like this.
I don't even know what that noise you're making is. Sort of, I don't know. As I watched that, I couldn't help but think of, now I know how my kids felt when I FaceTimed into a piano recital they were at. Anyway.
Right. Like
That's
how
pretty
lame.
much what it was like.
God, it's just so lame. Yeah.
Gaffigan also told this joke about cats, sort of. You'll see what he's doing here. It did not look like it was taken particularly well by Trump or Melania. You be the judge.
You know, during the first and only debate, President Trump talked about migrants taking cats and eating them. You know, if you're keeping track at home, this is the second time grabbing a kitty has been part of a campaign issue.
He smiled. Look at him. He smiled. He totally took it. Yeah, he smiled. He's like, whatever. It's just a joke. It actually is it landed.
Bad.
People in the audience were probably more upset about it than Trump was, because Trump he's been roasted before. He understands what this is about. My God, the guy has taken hits for the past however many years, his whole career.
Yep.
He can do this.
He also made a joke about Biden not being there.
After JFK, President Biden couldn't be here tonight. The DNC made sure of that.
It's so true.
Which I just love that.
Look at Schumer. He looks so sinister.
I know. He can't even help it, because like right there, he's beaming. He's smiling full on, and he still looks evil. Right?
He looks like a cartoon character, you guys. I cannot with him.
There was also the joke about Trump voters.
The media has begun discussing the phenomena of secret Trump voters. I don't know if you've heard about this. People who publicly say they would never vote for Trump, but then when they go in the voting booth, they do. It's a small group. They're called the Biden family.
I love that so much. That's awesome. I love it.
And then for all the naysayers who are just trying to spread rumors and they're convinced that RFK and his wife are not together, they're like splitting up, or that she's mad at him for like the texting issue that he had with that person from the New Yorker, I forget what publication, they seem to be just fine.
We will break $10 million.
They're adorable.
They really are pretty cute.
They are really cute.
And then Trump took the podium, and he also had some jokes of his own. The first one was about being in New York City.
It's a true pleasure to be with you this evening. Amazing pleasure. And these days, it's really a pleasure anywhere in New York without a subpoena for my appearance. I'd like to.
Oh my God.
That was super cute. And then he also talked about Tim Walz.
Thank our MC this evening, Jim Gaffigan. Most recently, Jim has been playing Tim Walz on Saturday Night Live. And that'll be a very short gig, I hope, Jim. But unfortunately, Governor Walz isn't here himself, but don't worry, he'll say that he was. He's going to say he was.
I love it. He did so well at this.
He did. He really did.
I mean, he shines at these things.
And then he made a joke about Biden, or was it?
The fact is, we need new leadership in this country. Right now, we have someone in the White House who can barely talk, barely put together two coherent sentences, who seems to have mental faculties of a child, it's said. Is a person that has nothing going, no intelligence whatsoever, but enough about Kamala Harris. Let's get on to something. I must.
Is that Jim Gaffigan's wife sitting next to him?
I think so. I think it must be.
She's a pretty lady.
Yeah. Trump also talked about Kamala and her laugh.
Say I was shocked when I heard that Kamala was skipping the Al Smith dinner. I'd really hoped that she would come, because we can't get enough of hearing her beautiful laugh. She laughs like crazy. I don't think Kamala has given up yet. She hasn't. Instead of attending tonight, she's in Michigan receiving communion from Gretchen Whitmer.
That was a good one too. I love that.
And then who's the chick in the behind him in the white? Is that Fox? That Fox chick that
I can't tell.
You know, with the
can't tell
cutouts,
who
because I
that
know
is.
how much you love the cutout dresses. I know how
I
much you love
don't
it.
like those.
I thought the chick that's on.
Is it Martha?
Yeah, Martha. That's what I was thinking. I think it's Martha.
Oh,
I think that's
okay.
what it is. Yeah. Anyways, go ahead. I'm sorry.
One more, and that was when he talked about how lefties think that men have periods. This was perfect.
I used to think that Democrats were crazy for saying that men have periods, but then I met Tim Walz.
And then lastly, I mean, notice that he was seated pretty close, like one person away from Chuck Schumer, and they had a conversation, they looked like they were getting along.
Oh, I think Chuck Schumer, like at one time, he was probably chummy with him. But then he was told, like all these other schmucks, hey, you can't like him anymore.
Oh my God.
This is the thing. They all have been brainwashed into, because listen, I'm old enough to remember, and you are too, when Trump was in movies and he was in TV shows as, a guest, as a celebrity guest. He was on, remember The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
He was on all these different shows because people loved him. They thought he was so great. And he does all these wonderful things for people. And that's what he was known as being that benevolent, wonderful guy who just happened to be a billionaire, right? And now they've been told, you can't like him. Okay, well, I'm just going to do what you tell me to do. Jerks.
It's absolutely ridiculous. And the fuss that people are making about a joke that Trump told at a rally over the weekend, oh my God, you would have thought that he said something so much worse than what he said. He made a joke about Arnold Palmer's manhood, which allegedly is
legendary.
Very large.
Is it legendary?
But Arnold Palmer was all man, and I say that in all due respect to women, and I love women. But this is a guy that was all man. This man was strong and tough, and I refuse to say it, but when he took showers with the other pros, they came out of there, they said, oh my God, that's unbelievable. I had to say it. We have women that are highly sophisticated here.
We're not a sophisticated show, so we can replay that.
And then you'll notice, I know it's very hard to see, but Fox Online reported about that story, saying Trump says he overpowered an older Arnold Palmer in golf and reveals how golfers reacted to Palmer in the shower. When he took showers with the other pros, they came out of there. They said, oh my God, that's unbelievable. That was published on October 19th at, I can't read the time, but it was published on October 19th. The very next day, Brian Stelter, because he's a freaking psychopath, was having a total hissy fit about this and said, or tried to say, on Fox, this story doesn't exist. The network cut to commercial midway through Trump's ramble about Palmer, didn't air the vulgar part live, and hasn't covered it at all since, except that they did. They had a whole story about it. So he's just a big fat liar.
Why is he so upset? Why is he like focusing on this? Is it because,
I don't know.
Is it because he's this? Is that why?
You got to wonder because, and he wasn't the only one. Jake Tapper had Mike Johnson on and was talking about it. And Mike was like, dude,
why are we talking about this? Yeah, it's
that's
like
pretty much how it went.
Why is he talking about Arnold Palmer's penis
in
front of Pennsylvania voters?
Can we not?
Jake, you seem to like that line a lot. Let me tell you that Donald Trump is doing rallies nonstop around the country.
Let me just say something. I don't want to be talking about this. Right. Donald Trump is out there saying it. It is.
But you continue to.
Yeah, you're the one bringing it up, loser.
I swear to God, these people are so fixated. He just told the story and they're like, oh my God, we're going to talk about Arnold Palmer's penis? Really? Let's do that.
I mean, for crying out loud, it's a joke that should have just been like, it just should have slipped by and people should just forget about it. But they are so hyper focused on every little thing that he does.
I know.
And they make everything an issue. It's, oh my God, it's exhausting.
It is.
Trump also said this about Kamala Harris at his rally this weekend in Pennsylvania.
So you have to tell Kamala Harris that you've had enough, that you just can't take it anymore. We can't stand you. You're a shit vice president.
Accurate. It is accurate.
Very accurate.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he sat down with Tyrus was very sweet to him and offered an apology for being critical of how mean Trump can be, which was very sweet. And he's pointing out that he saw in person Trump's family man side. And so he offered this
apology before we start. I've been very critical about how you fight all through the campaigns. I voted for you because I like policy. I didn't know you as a man. And I think when you don't understand what a man fights for, you can get lost, especially with all the noise we're seeing from fake news, et cetera, who created these pictures from you. Nice. So Gutfeld show's over. Cameras are off. We go backstage, and I expected you to be like every politician or anybody I've ever celebrity I've bodyguarded for, and you met my family, and you talked to my daughter. Mm-hmm. My daughter is 10 years old. Her name is Georgie. You guys talked for 20 minutes. If nobody knew, you could have been her grandfather. And you were talking about her horses and her dreams. And I was sitting there and I was like, I have been so wrong about this man because I never understood why you fight the way you fight.
We got a fun one.
That's really sweet.
Sweet.
Yeah, it was really sweet. And it goes back to the whole, it's because people have been taught to hate him. Because they're brainwashed sheep. These are the same people that were like, I'm going to wear a mask everywhere I go. I'm a freaking lobotomized sheep. Oh, you want me to hate somebody? Okay. I mean, these people, I swear, like, get some intelligence.
My only
Critical
criticism
thinking.
remains, I wish we got to see more of it. I wish that was what we saw more of, because I love those moments.
Yeah,
you know what
but
I
this
mean?
is the thing. It's like the problem is that people rely so much on the mainstream media. The stories are out there. You just have to search for them. It's what you want to see. You know what I mean? And so many people want so badly to hate this guy. They want to hate him. If you want to hate him, you can hate him. If you want to actually see some positive stuff about him, you can find it. And like I said, we grew up knowing who he was before.
Right.
It's hard for me to see him as like this horrible, like demon spawn racist guy when I know that like for decades, he hung out with Black people all the time. So I'm like, wait a second. Where did you get racist about him? Where did you get, I don't get it because it doesn't make any sense to me. So if you can think critically and you kind of saw what he was before, how do you put two and two together? You know, because it doesn't make any sense when people call him all these things. But I guess if you're on the left and you want so badly for that to be the case, you can make it be that case in your brain, in your like non-functioning TDS riddled brain.
Trump also had an appearance on Fox and Friends, and he took a call or took questions from callers to the show, and this was one of them.
But we'll fix it. We got a 6-year-old from Massachusetts, and he wants to know about your favorite animal. Let's watch.
Mr. President, my name is Briar. I'm 6 years old. I live on a farm in Massachusetts. What's your favorite farm animal?
Favorite farm animal?
What's the animal?
Well,
this guy grew up in the city.
I'll tell you what I love. I love cows. But if we go with Kamala, you won't have any cows anymore because you're not
Oh my God, I love this. I watched that live the other day and I was like, oh my God, I was dying. It was just the sweetest thing. And you know, he's like telling the truth. You know, he actually really does love cows. So my formal invitation to President Trump, if you ever want to hang out with cows, you can come to my little ranch here in Texas and you can pet the cows and you can come on our show. This is my formal invitation. President Trump. I know you watch our show daily. So you can come do that. My cows are really friendly.
There are a couple Senate races where the Democrats are so worried about losing that they are now trying to side with Trump in some of their advertising, which is like, one of those people is Senator Bob Casey, and there was a story about it, including a little bit of the commercial that he's running right now on CNN.
He bucked Biden to protect fracking, and he sided with Trump to end NAFTA and put tariffs on China to stop them from cheating. So in this House, we agree. It's Bob Casey who's doing right by Pennsylvania.
I'm Bob Casey, and I definitely approve this message.
What?
Yeah, the title of the ad is Independent. 538 shows that Casey voted with Biden 98.5% of the time. What does this attempt in the last few weeks tell us about some of these races?
I think it goes to show how close some of these Rust Belt races are really going to be in the Senate
for the control of the Senate as well. You know, a lot of these senators running in places like Wisconsin, Ohio, Montana are really running to the middle right now. They want to appear independent. They don't want to be tied to the top of their ticket. They don't want to be tied to Harris or Biden, and they want to show that they can buck their party at times, because that's the thing that they think can appeal to moderate Republicans or independents that are going to vote for them in this final stretch. So it's a smart strategy to tie themselves to Trump.
It's a smart strategy to tie themselves to Trump. Can you even with this?
Oh my God.
What is even happening?
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Right?
It reminds me of Colin Allred here in Texas, where he wouldn't say, I'm a Democrat. In his ads, he won't say, hi, I'm a commie Democrat because I'm in Texas. Let me tell you all the other things about me that are going to like sort of deflect from who I really am, which is a commie Democrat.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But I'm this, I'm this, I'm this. He'll say all these other things to distract you because he doesn't want you to know exactly what he is. This is what they're doing, you guys. It's so
desperate.
It is desperate, and it's lying. They're lying. They're not proud of what they stand for. They're not proud of their policies. They're not proud of who they are. These people are freaking liars.
They're total liars.
Gross.
I mean, it is. But I like it. Like, I like that they are clearly scared. I mean, I just think it's hilarious that they're actually building pro-Trump stuff into their ads. Oh my God. It just gives me the glees. And this picture also gave me the glees. Imagine, if you will, that you're Gretchen Whitmer and you take a selfie with Kamala and other people in it, and you look like a rabid psychopath and you post it voluntarily.
Oh,
look at how insane she looks, you guys.
Always the eyes on these broads, isn't it?
Right? I mean, that's crazy. She looks crazy.
She also needs to lay off the Botox, you know? She's starting to look like the Joker.
There's some stuff going on with her face.
You want to lay off, lady.
Okay, I'm fast forwarding a little bit through some stuff that I just don't think we're going to have time for today, that we don't need to do today. But I wanted to show a couple ads actually that are packed together that Kamala is her team is putting out there to try to entice men to vote. And they're basically saying you won't get to date black women, black men, if you don't vote. And it's just the strangest strategy. Here's a couple of them just back to back.
Hello, ladies. I'm Trey. It's good to be here.
What do you do and how much do you make?
I work in finance, making six figures.
How tall are you?
6'5".
Do you have a plan to vote in November?
Nah, not my thing.
That ad irritates the crap out of me.
I know, right?
The first question was so shallow.
Yeah.
How much do you make? Okay.
And I don't know why the other one didn't play, but it was very, very similar. It was like a black couple on a date. And so the guy, and this would never happen in actual life, but the guy was wearing a sticker that said, I don't vote, or something like that. And she apparently, like, she sees it and she's like, I can't date you. And this is what they're doing to try to appeal to the black vote, I guess.
To black men? I'd turn around and be like, how much do you make?
I know, it's so off-putting.
God, it is.
And speaking of ads, here's one from some pro-Trump folks, which I thought was actually effective, trying to target Jewish voters.
Did you watch the news lately? Israel's under attack, anti-Semitism like I never thought I would see.
Did you read about Samantha's boy Max?
No.
He got spit on just walking that pen.
I mean, that's scary. What about Kamala?
Oh, busy defending the squad.
Ay vey. You know, Trump I never cared for, but at least he'll keep us safe.
I never voted Republican in my life, but I am voting Trump.
Amen.
I mean,
yeah.
I think that's pretty effective, actually.
It is effective. It looks like a real conversation. We've had conversations like that, you know?
Yep. And then meanwhile, Kamala is employing a new strategy, which is to call Donald Trump unhinged. This is unhinged and unstable, I think, are the words that she uses. There's a couple of clips that'll play back to back of her trying this on for size.
He's becoming increasingly unstable and unhinged.
Thank you, Madam President. Well, I'm going to say what I've said publicly and say many times based on my observations and
I would totally, if I were on his comms team, I would be like, I'd be hitting back with, you are hysterical and weak.
Mm-hmm.
Just pummeling her with that. I would just be like, this is how you fight back with that shit. Because it's ridiculous. They use these talking points. He's unhinged. Okay. It's as effective as he's weak. You know, like he's weak or he's exhausted. They went last week. I saw a whole bunch of messaging coming from their team saying that he's exhausted, that he's old. And
that's what's next. She's trying to do that too. She's trying to say because he canceled a couple of things here and there because he's doing literally everything.
That he's exhausted.
That she's too tired to debate her, too tired to do other meetups with her. I couldn't believe it, but this is what she actually said.
That's what they're doing.
And that's apparently the excuse for why he's not doing interviews. And of course, he's not doing the CNN town hall. He refuses to do another debate. And, you know, look, being president of the United States is probably one of the hardest jobs in the world. And so we really do need to ask if he's exhausted being on the campaign trail.
He's never done it.
Is he fit to do the job? And I think that's a question that is an open-ended question that he needs to answer.
Yeah, he can answer that, biatch. He's done it before. Oh my God.
Then her freaking, the Kamala HQ, which is the most lying misinformation site on Twitter or account on Twitter, accused Dan Bongino accused Trump of leaving Dan Bongino's interview early. So they actually said Trump abruptly ends his live interview after it's reported that he's canceling interviews because he's exhausted and, quote, off the record, I got to get going. And they posted this video clip from that show.
Then Biden.
Yeah, no, she's horrible. Can I ask you a really...
Hey, Dan, I got to get going.
I'm sorry.
They're going crazy.
All right. Folks, I'm sorry. We got to wrap it up with the president.
And then Dan Bongino pushed back and was like, bullshit. He stayed longer than planned and signed a baseball and other items for charitable hurricane relief for another 10 minutes afterwards. You can shove this absolute bullshit right up your ass, you lying pieces of shit.
I love him. He's right. It's just ridiculous. Like, who believes this? This is one of the most bizarre takes I've seen thus far.
I know.
He's exhausted and that he's tired and he's too old and he can't handle it and that he is fearful of anything because they tried that whole he's scared. He's scared. Really? The guy took a bullet. And like you expect the American people who can critically think and see with their own eyes, you want us to believe that he's scared and he's tired? Suck it. I am not. We're not buying what you're selling. Come on.
Of course not. And like all the data, the actual data shows otherwise. Like if you look at any single platform since they've been nominated for their respective parties, he's done more TV, he's done more radio, he's done more print, he's done more podcasts. He's literally done more than her in every single category.
Every single thing.
And where this came from, I have no idea, but he pushed back on it when asked about it himself in a I think it was like a, outside.
Kamala Harris said she thinks you're exhausted, and that's why you're canceling events. Are you exhausted?
What event have I canceled? I haven't canceled. She doesn't go to any events. She's a loser. She doesn't go to any events. She didn't even show up for the Catholics last night at the hotel. It was insulting. All they are is sound bites. So today I was at Fox and Friends at 7 in the morning. I then went to 2 different other appearances. I then made about 15 phone calls. I've gone 48 days now without arrest. And I've got that loser who doesn't have the energy of a rabbit. Let me tell you something. She should have been last night with the Catholics. So all they do is put out sound bites. Tell me when you've seen me take even a little bit of a risk. Not only am I'm not even tired. I'm really exhilarated. You know why? We're killing her in the polls because the American people don't want her. She didn't pass her bar exam. She's not a smart person. She's not a person that should represent our country.
She's delusional. She's absolutely delusional. And her team is trying so hard to put the messaging out, kind of like Obama and team put Kamala out. And said, oh, you guys are all going to like her now. Look, she's great. I know that she had a 30% approval rating when Biden was actually in office doing things and you hated her then, but we're going to try to make her happen. And they did. They made her happen for a while because those people are dumb as you know what. And they were like, oh yeah, she's great now. Okay, yes, sir. May I have another? And they ate it up. But now it's starting to kind of fade. I mean, I figured it would. And it's fading a little bit. A little bit.
So. I hope so.
Know? But I mean, wait, come on. We're not buying this garbage. It's garbage.
I mean, there are some people that are buying it because it's the white liberal, it's the awfuls, right? It's the awfuls.
But only because they hate Trump so bad.
Yeah.
That's the reason.
Or they just really care about it being a woman, right? Like they're just so into the identity politics that's all they're focused on.
Exactly.
Or they just really like Lizzo, for example, because now Lizzo's stumping for Kamala. And this was so off-putting, this video that she made of her getting on her own private jet to go to one of the rallies. I was like, how is this helpful of getting anybody onto the Kamala team?
Oh, bad bitch saves democracy. You hoes couldn't even spell democracy.
Oh my God, that's so great. It is the most ridiculous. It's okay. First of all, it's not a democracy. It's a constitutional republic. And this hoe can spell that. I can spell constitutional republic. Do you know what it is? And that was the dumbest thing I think I've seen in a really long time. Like, why? It's not a flex to get on a private jet and then talk to people who are working. You know what I mean? Like working class people. And you think that you're cool and you're talking down to them and you're getting on I thought you guys were for climate change and all that kind of stuff. It's probably not a good look, Lizzo.
Well, she tried to do some damage control, I guess, on the whole Detroit thing because Trump was like, you don't want every city in America to look like Detroit. We're not Detroit. Nobody wants that. She went an opposite sort of direction in her speech.
I'm so happy to be back in Detroit. You know, all the best things were made in Detroit. Coney dogs, Fago, and Lizzo. I'm so proud to be from this city. You know, they say if Kamala wins, then the whole country will be like Detroit. Okay? Proud like Detroit. Resilient like Detroit. We're talking about the same Detroit that innovated the auto industry and the music industry. So put some respect on Detroit's name. You can't hear me? Oh, then we gotta run this back. Hello, hello, hello. Turn me up. Turn up the music. Turn down the light. I got a feeling. Can y'all hear me all right? Thank you so much. All right, I'm running it back from the top because y'all need to hear this.
And she did. She like repeated that entire thing.
Yeah. So we don't want to be like Detroit, you guys. Detroit is second only to St. Louis when it comes to crime. Like Detroit
really?
is
like, where's Baltimore fit in now? They've got to be top 3.
Oh, they're definitely in the top 5. You know, but I mean, it's bad. It's bad in Detroit.
Bad.
Detroit sucks. I'm sorry if you're from Detroit, but Detroit sucks. We're not Detroit. Did you guys ever see that video? There's a great video. Remember we used to play that on our radio show? Great. And there's an actual video that somebody put out and it has like dead fish floating around the river. It's like, we're not Detroit. I think it was Cleveland. It was a Cleveland tourism video that was somebody put out there and it was hysterical. And they were basically like the whole thing to get to Cleveland was we're not Detroit. That's what it was because it sucks so bad. We don't want to be Detroit. And listen, she doesn't live there. She escaped.
Right.
She doesn't live in Detroit. Give me a break.
That's why she said it's so good to be back here because she didn't stay.
Right.
Kamala obviously had to have her TikTok worthy moment with Lizzo. And here's what that looked like.
My president. Hey. Oh my God. No.
Oh, you are so wonderful.
Thank you for everything that you're doing.
All celebrities, all skits.
Country, I know it's hard, but you're so close. You're almost there.
We are.
Mm-mm.
Okay. You are a part of it, and I thank you for that.
Let's win this.
We will, sister.
Okay. Come on.
No regular people anywhere. Have you noticed that?
Yeah,
there
it's
were
all celebrities.
All celebrities. No, and that's where the money's coming from. I am convinced. No regular people. Like, remember at the DNC when we covered the DNC stuff? No regular people. It was all these celebrities, all these like, you know, Brady Bunch screens of all the celebrities talking about how great this campaign is, and this like it's crazy, you guys. But those are the people who they attract, and I guess people on the left love that. Like they think it's so great. They're like, we've got Taylor Swift. So She's a gajillionaire. She doesn't have to worry about groceries or gas or paying for college for her cat. You know? That cat's not going to college.
Well, they also had Usher, who you'll see in this little trilogy of videos has had a bit of a transformation. And he wore like the most gigantic bathrobe onto the stage at the rally, which was bizarre. But just you may remember, because I know we played this clip on our show several weeks ago. He was on The View saying, I don't get in politics and I'm not ever going to talk about who I endorse. And then all of a sudden there's the Diddy story. And now all of a sudden he is endorsing.
It's just
very, very shady. And I thought whoever put this together did it exactly right.
I think that the Who's artists should come out and speak for Kamala against Donald Trump, because he is an existential threat to the country. What do you say to that?
You know what? I don't get too deep into politics. I think voting is an individual choice.
Breaking news tonight, Sean Diddy Combs has been arrested in a Manhattan hotel.
I'm supporting Vice President Harris because she fights.
Interesting.
I love you more, but I love Kamala Harris even more.
Yay! Look at that, you guys. Isn't that neat?
Surprise!
Yeah, nobody's surprised by that.
Also, we showed that one kid who's like the president of the Harris Walz team from that university in Michigan. In Wisconsin, they apparently are taking a page out of the Gwen Walz playbook and deciding to treat all of their attendees as children. I don't know who this woman is, but here's what she did at the Wisconsin rally.
If you know it, I'm going to sing it. Bum, bum, ba-da-dum. Hey, that's really good. Okay, let's try something different. That's 3 syllables, right? God. I've got another word with 3 syllables. It's Ka-ma-la. You want to try it? All right, let's go. Bum, bum, ba-da-dum. Ka-ma-la. Yes!
She's like the fraternity little sister version of Gwen Walz. Like she did upside down keggers before, you know what I mean? She's that version. These are not serious people, you guys. They're just not. They're not adults. They're not serious about things, and they treat everybody as less thans in the crowd, and they love it. Like these people eat it up.
It's crazy.
I'm insulted by it watching.
Yeah,
I'm just like grossed out by that, and I'm not even there. Like if I were there, I would be like, "What?" I'd be looking around, going, "What is this? What do we? What?" And I'd walk out. But they love it. They love it.
They love it, and they love their celebrities. Jen Garner, as we've shown before, is a big activist for this campaign, and she was with Gwen Walz. They made another ad together, and the weirdest thing to me about this, I don't know if anybody else noticed it, but it was all I could see. I don't even know what they say, because I was so focused on Gwen's hover hand.
Her hover hand?
She does the hover hand. She won't touch Jennifer Garner all the way. She just has this hand around her, but not touching her. And it was so weird to me that she never actually grips her. I don't know what to make of it. I don't know why I was so hyper-focused on it. You may just decide to listen to what they say. I could not stop looking at the hover hand.
I'm Jen Garner. And I'm Gwen Walz. I'm co-starring Gwen Walz. It's the Jen and Gwen. Yay! We're here in Nevada, and like Nevada,
what? You see it? With her hand.
Are starting early voting today.
So we have been all over Nevada here rallying people to get to the polls and vote, and lots of states are starting to vote, and so we encourage you to make a plan, get there. If you don't know where to go to
iwillvote.com.
Yeah, very good, and we'll be coming to a state near you.
Yes, get out the vote.
Get out the vote, let's win.
What? Did you see what I mean?
I did. I saw the hover hand. Yeah.
It was like this the whole time.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
That was super weird.
She probably does that to her own husband too. Because they never touch each other.
Well, I mean, he's gay.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They don't, they never touch each other. Mm-hmm.
Kamala's back to her hysterical, shrieky laughter at her rallies. Apparently, her team has said, you can go ahead and do that now. Remember how for a long time she was trying not to do it?
Yes.
The hysterical laughter is back. We've got a couple of examples.
She has a split personality.
Yeah, this is weird.
Out your own name for a minute.
my God.
That's what I'm talking about, because it's about you. It's about your family. It's about you. That's what I'm talking about.
When she's literally like, we're going streaking in the quad. That's literally what she's about. She's freaking out, you guys. She's like, Scotch, Chardonnay. She is drunk AF in that clip. She's drunk.
Oh my God, she's so
drunk. So drunk. She has 18 personalities. I don't know which one is coming out. I don't know.
She also wanted to criticize Trump for going off script, which is hilarious given that it's something she is not capable of doing.
Oh my God.
But here she is ripping on him for doing it.
He does answer a question or speak at a rally. Have you noticed he tends to go off script and ramble? And generally, for the life of him, cannot finish a thought. And he has called it the weave. But I think we here will call it nonsense.
Keep reading off your teleprompter, lady.
Right? Oh my God.
Because Lord knows you need it. Because when you don't have it, you stumble. Remember what happened to her like a week ago, and she didn't have her. She just kept saying that same number over and over again. Deer in the headlights. Yeah, you just keep making fun of him. Okay.
She also talked about Usher in this clip.
And of course, Usher.
Oh my God. It was a freaking nightmare. I cannot take any more of her. I can't.
You have to take one. Well,
my
actually, you have
God.
to take a few more.
Okay,
You have to take a few more. Because these are important to share.
Okay, I know.
I could not believe that this was a thing that she did, but we talked last week about that horrifying photo of Jimmy Carter that everybody saw, where he clearly is.
He's
not
at death's
able-
door. He's at death's door.
And there's no way that he is of sound mind at the moment, nor is he able to vote. But she ran with it and thought that this was an appropriate thing to say.
So look, if Jimmy Carter can vote early, you can too.
You can too. What is that?
Oh my God.
Who is she?
So inappropriate.
Oh my God. She's all different people wrapped up in like she's just whoever she needs to be at whatever place she is.
But she's also the same every place. Like she shows all of her different personalities at every single event. And one of those personalities, as we've seen in the Bret Baier interview earlier, is her angry side, where she imagines the thought of having Trump behind the presidential seal again fills her with rage. And when she's got the rage, it looks and sounds like this.
Should never again have the privilege of standing behind the seal of the President of the United States.
Okay, Biden.
Never again. Never again. Never again.
Oh my God. Okay, we got it.
Should never again stand behind the seal.
Every time, man.
I can't. This woman is just a nut job. Yeah. And I mean, she hates it when Trump goes off script.
Right? Oh my God.
Yeah.
So it was perfect that Esty did an impression of her before meeting up with Hunter Biden and after meeting up with Hunter Biden. So here's what it looks like before.
Never have the privilege of standing behind the seal of the President of the United States. I
This
call
is after.
myself a joyful warrior. Right?
Look at there's a scotch. And a pill.
Anyone take your joy from you? I'm yelling.
It's true. No
You do
yelling.
what you gotta do. Never again. Never again. Isn't Isn't that a wonderful
Chardonnay.
way to live?
Mm-hmm.
So, let's all be joyful warriors, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Straight, joyful comrades.
Fill up my glass. Uh-huh.
Oh my
Hi,
God.
Yep. God, I swear.
I regret to inform you that you are now going to know Doug Emhoff's parents.
Oh no.
So they put out a 60th birthday message to Kamala. I am not going to show you the whole thing, but
Thank
they
you.
wrote her a poem. Okay. And they recited said poem.
Is it like an iambic pentameter? What is it?
I don't know.
Is
It's
it what
awful.
kind of a poem? Is it a haiku?
I don't know. It's awful. You'll only see a piece of it because it's unbearable, but these are Kamala's in-laws.
Everyone, we're Mike and Barb Emhoff, the parents of the second gentleman, and we're here today to honor our daughter-in-law, Kamala Harris, on her birthday, and we've written a beautiful poem.
God help us.
60 stars for Kamala. 60 years of laughter, 60 years of grace, a guiding light with a smiling face. From courtroom halls to Senate floors, a voice of justice forever endures. Here's to 60 more dreams so grand, with love and warmth held in your hand.
Happy birthday, Kamala, from your loving in-laws, Mike and Barb.
May joy never part.
You lead with your head and give with your heart. We love you.
So bad. It's so bad, you guys.
I could not believe it was real.
I'm so embarrassed.
And again, I cut out a lot of
Oh my gosh. And they were trying to do it like on cue together and they couldn't. Reading a different Oh God.
Yeah, it was bad.
That would be a great SNL skit and they'll never do it.
They might. They've been pretty good. They might.
Because that would be awesome.
Oh my God, it would be awesome.
Man.
Lots of chatter over the weekend about this moment that Kamala had at one of her rallies where there were some pro-life students who yelled out, "Jesus is Lord, Christ is King," in the middle of her rally. These were pro-life students who were there at Wisconsin's La Crosse University, and a couple different angles, because we still don't know 100% for sure if she heard what they said or if she was just reacting to protesters or hecklers, right? But I mean, it seems she doesn't make her look great. Okay, so here's the first angle of what happened, and she's so freaking condescending and such a biatch. Here's the first angle.
Donald Trump hand-selected 3 members of the United States Supreme Court with the intention that they would undo the protections of Roe v. Wade, and they did as he intended. Oh, you guys are at the wrong rally.
She knew. I think she knew. She heard him.
No, I think you meant to go to the smaller one down the street.
Mm-hmm. I hope y'all are paying attention, Christians and Catholics. You know,
so that was the first angle, and then you can see kind of in the front of the screen right now a woman in blue and white shirt, like white sleeves with blue shoulders. She pushes these 2 students out. She was pushing them, and you could hear them saying, so I don't know, well, you'll know in a minute what they said before they said Jesus is Lord, but the crowd obviously did not want them there. And you'll hear Kamala you can hear her in the background say, "Oh, you must be at the wrong rally." Here it is.
As he intended.
And then the crowd loved it.
They think it's hysterical, right?
Yeah. So Banshee tweeted, I don't know for sure that Kamala Harris heard that protesters say Jesus is Lord before she mocked them, but I don't think it matters. If you're mocking people who are protesting the killing of unborn babies instead of honestly engaging them, you're evil anyway.
If you're mocking people who are saying Jesus is Lord, you're evil anyway. You're just evil. I mean, she'll say, "Oh no, everybody can have religious freedom. It's like you can worship whoever you want to worship." She'll say that out loud. She doesn't believe that. She doesn't have any respect for Christians. She doesn't have any respect for Catholics, as evidenced by what happened last week at that dinner. She doesn't give a crap about you Christians. She doesn't give a crap about you Catholics. She doesn't like you. She doesn't. I don't know what, she doesn't like Jewish people. Seriously, I don't know what they have to do to show people in those, denominations. I don't know. What do they have to do? This is the thing. But there are Catholics out there who will still vote for this woman.
Oh, yeah. And Jews, I mean, she's married to a Jew. And so she'll use that as her. Yeah.
I mean,
so Fox had the two boys on to tell their story. It was a very long interview. We're only just going to play this tiny piece of it. But here is what they said they experienced. Right here.
Right. So that moment we brought to you yesterday. Today, we'd like to bring in those students who yelled that out to Kamala Harris. They're two pro-life students at the University of Wisconsin La Crosse, both juniors, Luke Pulaski and Grant Beth.
I yelled out to the crowd that abortion is the sacrament of Satan. And when I said that, I deeply do believe that as a Christian. And about 10 seconds go by, and that's when the video of my friend Grant and I proclaiming that Christ is Lord and Jesus is King, when we said that. And I think it's important to say this is a small venue, and we were about 20 to 30 yards away from Kamala at this point. There's a lot of controversy that says she wasn't talking to us or we left, we didn't get kicked out. Well, I can speak on Grant and I's behalf. On video, Grant's getting pushed and shoved. And there's about 5 seconds after or before she tells us to go to the smaller rally down the street. You can see on the video she waves. She was actually waving to me. I took this cross off my neck that I wear, and as we were getting asked to leave, I held it up in the air and waved at her and pointed to her, and she looked directly in the eye, kind of gave me an evil smirk. And yeah, I just want to clear that up and confirm that she 100% was talking to us.
Yeah.
Straight from the horse's mouth.
Yeah. Make no mistake. This election is also really about spiritual warfare. I believe that. I believe that 100%.
Well, and I forget, what's his name? This guy that
this is Will. Will.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
So he had some things to say about this afterwards as well.
I don't think in our history, Barack Obama or Joe Biden included, no Democrat would respond in that moment the way that she responded. 100%. You have to understand the gravity of that response. I don't know what she saw. I don't see the camera from the other angle. I don't know what she internalized. I don't know what she heard. I don't know if she heard Jesus is Lord. But that's what was said. And for you to respond, you're at the wrong rally. I don't care if all she thought was they were pro-life, to your point, Charlie. That is, in our past, in the history of America, a campaign-killing response.
Yep. He's absolutely right. 100%.
And then she immediately tried to fix this, like majorly went into damage control mode and did this. She posted, "We each have the power to make a difference in our communities and this election. Now's the time to come together to show faith in action and service.
Up yours.
Souls to the polls."
Whatever.
Putting faith into action.
She doesn't get, she's such a phony.
Oh my God.
Such a phony. That is like gross. That is gross right there. F off. Seriously.
And then let's just take a look-see at how a similar circumstance was handled at a J.D. Vance rally, because it was very, very
I love
different.
this. Yes.
Anti-Christian rhetoric and anti-Christian approach to public policy. I don't think that we've, that's right, Jesus is king, and I don't think that we've seen.
There you go. Was that hard? How hard was that? Seemed really hard for her. And everybody in that auditorium like was cheering for her. How gross is that?
Yeah.
Seriously, that's what was
And
so ick
pushing
about
those
it.
guys out, like
pushing
being
them out.
hostile to those guys.
Yep. That is just
Wow.
it makes my skin crawl when I saw that. And then the difference between that, the dichotomy between the two, the stark like just contrast between the two. What side are you on, you guys?
Mm-hmm.
It's so easy for me to see that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know it's been a long show, but we still have Schlong, and we have to get to Schlong because
Yes, we
it
do.
was such a big deal yesterday, you guys, when Trump decided to do a shift at McDonald's. And it was glorious in so many ways. So we're going to show him when he first gets there, and they give him his apron.
Thank you. Okay.
Oh my gosh, this is so great.
Looks good. You want to do it? Yeah.
Mr. Trump, what's your favorite thing to order at McDonald's?
I like it all. I like it.
This is the crowd outside.
Oh my God, I love it. Yeah. 81 million votes in my butt. I'm just saying.
And here he is learning to cry.
That's a big crowd there. That's a big crowd, huh?
Mr. Trump, why did you feel it was important to come here today?
I love McDonald's. I love jobs. I like to see good jobs. And I think it's inappropriate when somebody puts down all over the place that she worked at McDonald's. It was a big part of her resume that she worked at McDonald's, how tough a job it was. She specifically worked at the French fry, where they make the French fries, and she talked about the heat. It was so tough. She never worked at McDonald's. McDonald's just confirmed that again, by the way. She never worked at McDonald's.
And he's learning how to do them for real.
That right far right, hanging
He
right
is.
up there. Yeah. And then you want to do the salt over here?
Yeah.
Can you imagine being the guy to teach him?
I know.
Grab
Can I
that.
give him extra salt?
No. Yep. Oh, yep. Good.
Okay.
Right there. And then we're going to grab the fry scoop right here.
Right.
Put it into there and just give him a twirl that way.
I love it.
Okay, where's the little thing?
Medium fry carton right here, sides, and then bottom.
I love how he's like, no hands in that one. He's like, I didn't touch them.
You never even touch it, huh?
Exactly.
I was always wondering, wow, that's pretty good.
And then you're going
And then he worked the drive-through, and this is
so
where they
great.
had some folks coming in through the line. The first woman that he talked to, or not the first, but the first video that you're going to see in the drive-through is a woman from Brazil.
A lot of fun here, everybody. Look at the fake. Look at all the fake news over there. Hello, everybody.
You can take this.
And you know this is compliments of Trump, okay?
Yes, thank
Okay.
you. Mr. President.
Okay, honey.
The United States become Brazil, my native Brazil.
Oh, we'll keep it good.
Please.
We're gonna make it better than ever, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
darling.
It's a pleasure, Mr.
Compliments
President.
of Trump.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you over there.
I mean,
Have a good time. Nice to see you. Bye, darling. I could do this all day. I wouldn't mind this job. I like this job. I think I might come back and do it again. Thank you.
I love it.
Look
This is my
at
favorite.
Look at that. How are you?
Thank you, Mr. President.
Nice to see you.
You made it possible for ordinary people like us to meet you.
You're not ordinary.
I mean, thank you so much
You
for
are not
everything.
Don't you love that?
We pray for you, and you
I
are
love
the
that
type
so
of person
much.
we want to be the president.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
So nice. Thank you very much. Yeah, I took a bullet. That's right.
Thank you, Mr. President.
When you think about it, I guess that's right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. You take it for granted. You say, give me French fries. I'll never forget this experience, okay? Now I have worked. I've now worked for 15 minutes.
I love it.
Kamala.
Are you going to put this on your resume?
I never worked here.
Why would she lie about something
15 minutes
like that? Will it be put on your resume?
I worked at McDonald's.
Why would she lie about that?
Why? Because she's lying, Kamala. That's why.
I love that he told that guy, you're not ordinary. And he feels that way
know.
about people. When he meets
Yep.
people, you can tell he feels that way. And that's why he wants to do good things for us, you know, because we're not ordinary to him. I love
And I'll
that.
tell you what, this entire campaign of his has just been filled with iconic photos, starting
Yep.
with his mugshot. And
Uh-huh.
now, I mean, of course, the fists in the air after getting
Right.
shot.
You're
and now
absolutely right.
this. And so the
Mhm.
libs of TikTok posted it saying this is going to go down in history as the photo that won Trump the election. I hope
Yeah.
that's true.
Well, because he's the man of the people.
Right.
Kamala is the woman of the celebrities and
Yep.
the elite and the statists. He's the man of us. Like he gets us. And that is good. I hope will make all the difference.
I hope so too, man.
If everybody gets their butts up and they go vote, that's what it's gonna come down to.
Yeah. And MSNBC, as you might imagine, is losing their minds
I
over
love
this
it.
entire thing. The reports were hilarious. We'll play two. Here's one of them that I was just like, you guys, calm down. It's okay.
I mean, if you're on his campaign, and I know you are certainly not, I'm not making any implication of that, but what is the logic behind this? Going to a McDonald's? I mean, we know the guy likes Big Macs and filet of fish, and he's used the word love to describe the way he feels about the food there before. But what's this about?
There's no logic to it. It's a stunt. He
Oh
has
my
not
God.
put forth an economic agenda. He, as you know, appears to be not well, and he's engaged in some really bizarre types of activities during this campaign. So this is just another one of those stunts that he will continue on through the campaign. And I think that we need to really focus on making sure that he is not elected, of course, because he is a threat to our democracy, but also the Harris-Walz agenda is about the economy, reducing the cost of living, reducing the cost of prescription drugs, reducing the cost of housing, and making life better for everyone. And that's what we have to focus on and make sure we get every voter to the polls and make sure that the voters vote for the future, not taking the country backwards, as you see what Donald Trump continues to try to do.
Quick, get another celebrity in here to endorse her.
They just cannot
Right.
deal.
They're losing their shit, and I love it.
It's so great. And here's that ridiculous Jonathan Capehart, also just so butthurt about this whole thing.
Trump also stopped by a McDonald's in Bucks County today, where he worked briefly as a fry cooker, without a hairnet, I might add. He also said he was paying for some of the meals. How is that not a campaign finance violation?
Oh
Here
my
we go.
God. Let's put him in jail, you guys. Let's put him in jail.
DOJ immediately sends out a new indictment.
God, these people are just, they will not stop.
I love this that said, if Trump can fix the ice cream machine, this election is over.
It's over. It's over.
But naturally, the New York Times, of course, immediately had to say, well, but she probably did work at McDonald's. Donald Trump has claimed without evidence that Mrs. Harris never worked fast food. Her campaign and a friend say
said
she did.
A friend said it. Lizzo said she did, you guys. Lizzo said it. Come on.
Oh my God, that cracked me up. And then
Lord.
Stelter, of course, is like, well, for security reasons, Trump's McDonald's visit was carefully staged ahead of time with drive-through customers selected and screened by Secret Service. Well, of course, he's been people have tried to shoot him twice. You don't think they're going to screen?
One guy actually did shoot him.
Oh my
So
God.
I feel like there's going to be some screening there, Potato Head.
So
Good
ridiculous
Lord.
that
Yeah.
people are like, well, that was staged. Really?
Yeah.
Did you check out Kamala's visit to that one? What was that one place that she visited that JD Vance also visited? And she totally cleared out regular customers to bring in her own.
That pottery place or some place. I don't even know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, it's staged as opposed to the commercial that they had with all the real men on ranches. That wasn't staged. Nah.
Not at all.
No actors there.
Oh my
Potato
God.
Man. Okay.
Oh my God. We do have a couple more things, and I've just got like 3 quick talks, and that's it. And then because I know we've gone really, really long. Let's see. Tammy Foucault says, welcome back. You were so missed. Thank you. Gerber says, my walk this morning is to the polling location to vote. Vote, y'all. And then later she said, or he said, done voting Texas, Trump, and Cruz.
Yay.
So that's awesome.
That's awesome.
Karen Marisco says, didn't mean to jump the shark. Sometimes my mouth works faster than my mind. I'm Italian. My hands go faster as well. Out of the mouth, the heart speaks. It's fine, Karen. Fuzzy Nutstein says, good morning, lovely chicks. Love waking up with you both. Take my money. Thank you so much. That's very generous.
Thank you.
BTK says, unusual. Many Kamala commercials in Metro New York City. Why? Interesting. Yeah, you wouldn't think she would need to campaign very hard there.
I would say like on our trip to Houston, because we drove almost 4 hours to get from where I'm at to Houston. A lot of Trump signs, tons and tons of Trump signs, right? We only saw 2 Harris Walz signs.
See, and it was reversed for me. Like on
Are
my
you serious?
island, yeah, it was all Harris Walz.
Really?
Not in my neighborhood, but on the larger island. It was lots and lots. And that's Nancy Mace country. Like she is my representative in that area.
That's so weird.
So yeah,
I
it was
would not
disappointing to
expect
see
that there. Yeah,
I know. I was bummed. Rachel Gerhart says, there's other lesbos up in here. Lesbos for Trump.
That's hysterical.
I love it. The Great Gatsby says the Amish in Pennsylvania are getting out the vote for Trump. 30,000 registered to vote for Trump because of Biden targeting their dairies. Hells yeah. Ooh, that's awesome. And I credit Scott Pressler with that because he's been working hard. Celine says, I've lost women I thought were my friends for being pro-life. Leftist women only love women if they're in lockstep with them in wanting evil.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. Brian Wolf says, in the 2005 Doctor Who Christmas special, the doctor said he could bring down PM Harriet Jones with 6 words. Don't you think she looks tired? This is exactly what the Harris campaign is trying. Oh my God.
It's very interesting. Yeah, but they're failing.
Yeah.
Because
Celine says the fact that Black Christians invited her to a church service is disgusting. There's such a cognitive dissonance because Dems today are so anti-God. I know.
So true.
Connie Cannell says, Catholic here. I will always vote for pro-life politicians. Catholics, please. I beg you not to vote for evil. A little boy is struggling for his life, born at 25 weeks. Prayer warriors needed. Wow.
I have friends from high school that will on social media, on Facebook, they'll post when they do the Ash Wednesday thing. They're like, I'm such a good Catholic. And then they'll vote Democrat.
That just makes no sense.
Drives me insane.
Philippe Mouve says, hi chicks, about the souls to the polls. The devil also needs souls. She doesn't mention Jesus. Interesting. And that's a good point indeed. All right. Just a few quick talks. And then, cause this has been a long show. This has been a very show. And I didn't even play everything we were going to play.
We kind of knew it was going to be though. It's a catch-up show.
Yeah, it's a catch-up show. First it's dogs sneezing.
Oh my God. I've never seen dogs do this. What? What in the world? It's all little dogs.
I know.
Hey, oh my gosh.
I know, big time. My Ella dog makes that snarly face when she like goes, oh, she gets all, and it's so funny. But yeah, the little dogs, that was hilarious.
That's it.
Oh my gosh. All right, this husky and its owner are filthy, covered in mud, and she's trying to give him a bath, and he's not having it. You guys, he does not having it.
Oh my God. Oh, what did they do? Oh my gosh. That seems like a lot of work.
Oh my God.
She's getting a bath just bathing him. Oh my God. That room. I can't even imagine. Coda loves showers. He loves it. Yeah, he'll walk right into the shower because we have like a walk-in shower. He'll walk in there and he'll stand there and he wants to be bathed. He loves it. It's so weird. He hates the pool. And then Theo is kind of starting, like I have to drag him in there, but then once he's in there, he's fine when he gets the warm water on him. But it's so funny how some dogs hate baths and then others are like, bring it on,
And then lastly, we have a little toddler who's trying very hard to be into football and sports for his dad. He just doesn't quite know who he's supposed to be rooting for.
Oh my gosh.
But here he is learning.
Oh my gosh. That is the cutest thing.
Isn't it sweet? I just thought that was precious.
That was Jackson with Ron when he was little. He's like,
they
is
always have this thing where, because Ron sits like this when he watches
does.
TV. I don't know why. And then
Mhm.
I have a picture of Jackson doing the exact same thing
Oh
when they're
my-
both watching sports.
I wonder
So
if he
cute.
does that now by himself when he's watching
I
football.
haven't seen him do it. It's a very odd way to, I mean, you know what I mean? Like I've never seen
Yeah.
anybody do that but my husband, but he does. He has his
It's
hand
like-
around his own throat.
It's like a security thing when he's watching football. He's like, oh God, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? That's so funny.
Anyway,
you guys, it's
long show
Monday.
today.
We have some thank yous, but we're going to dole them out tomorrow.
Yeah, I
We
haven't
have
been
some
to my
thank yous for
mailbox and I know
people.
I have things to
Mhm.
pick up. So
Yep.
I have to do that.
You do, because I have some stuff at beyond. Oh, you guys have the best freaking Monday of your lives
ever.
And we will talk to you tomorrow. Bye. everybody.
Hello, beautiful people. This is the Chicks on the Right's Indian correspondent. Thank you for watching or listening. Be very sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to stay up to date on all of their delicious content. Okay, thank you. Come again.